Look what I found today. Was only able to find one, but that's alright. I don't think I'm going to hoard this one. I like the Skyline casting more. As you can see, it is a mesh grill. But I was surprised to actually find one of these. So that's pretty cool. This video... Wow, these are dusty. I've done a video like this in the past, but since having all my premium JNC stuff put away, I really wanted to get a couple of the cars out to take a look. But so I'll get to those. There's going to be a handful of cars in this video. I'm going to start with this Dyno Casting 69 Chevelle, I think. Really nice engine detail. I mean really nice. Like, possibly some of the nicest I've seen. The car, not so much the nicest I've seen, although it is up there. It has an opening trunk as well. It's not as nice as the Greenlight casting, but it's a really nice casting. Wheels are kind of weak, although at the time it came out, they were probably among some of the nicest wheels you could get. But this is your Dyno brand Chevelle. Another brand, if you're a Ford or Shelby fan, this is a great brand to collect, Shelby Collectibles. There are a few of these that I do like. This Shelby is one of them. I mean, look at how awesome that thing is. How can you deny the coolness of that? Opening hood. Pretty cool car. I don't buy a lot of these. They don't put a lot of stuff out. That probably has a lot to do with it. Racing Champs Mint. They're actually starting to put out some nicer stuff. If they keep putting stuff like this out, I'm going to keep buying them. Somebody asked me not too long ago why I don't have more Racing Champs stuff. It's really because they just haven't put a whole bunch of good stuff out. The newer stuff that they've been putting out, the Broncos. Oh, you know what? I accidentally grabbed two. So for Racing Champs, I'm going to show two. So we have this Buick Regal, which is awesome. And then we have this Plymouth GTX, which is also awesome. You know what I think it is? I think people, guys, or collectors that are my age are ready. Well, before I get into that, let's take a look at this GTX. It's awesome. Is it as nice as the Auto World Roadrunner? No, it's not. But come on, that is still a really nice casting. Check out those wheels. That is a diggable car, and I totally dig it. So what guys like me are ready for is stuff like this. Cars that came out in the mid 1980s, from the mid 1980s to the mid 1990s. That is the sweet spot. That's what we want. And that is going to be the next phase of cars, I think. So here's one from a brand called Chevelle. I know I've shown all these, but man, look at that. That is just so cool. You just don't see a lot of stuff like this, you know? And this thing would look awesome with or without that wing on the back. Type R. Lens taillights, painted headlights. Really nice detail on the body. Pretty decent realism on the car. The weather stripping around all the glass is detailed. Accurately sized wheels and tires. A lot of people don't like those skinny tires, but does not bother me at all because it's accurate. Here's something different, and I don't know why I brought this out. I don't know who even makes it. It is made special for Subaru. It's a dealership exclusive car. I tend to think that these are made by Maisto. They have a feel and a look, something of what you would expect from Maisto. Very realistic looking, though. Very authentic looking. Prototypical wheels. I mean, they did go all out on these, but they just look and feel very much like Maisto. But check it out. I mean, the thing is just awesome detail. Look at that Subaru logo. Look at those wheels spinning. Money. So this is made by Maisto, or Motor Max, which I think is, I think it's some kind of subsidiary or sister company of Maisto. And this is Motor Max. This is a Ford Pinto. Awesome car. I don't think any diecast collection is complete without America's most notorious piece of crap car that was ever made. Such a cool little car, though. Look at that. Look at that detail. Very, very nicely done. Rubber tires with tread. Pretty cool. Kind of an interesting one. Where do I go next? Hot Wheels can get in the 100% game. Or the detail game, I should say. With their 100% cars. This, I don't know if Kyosho did an Enzo. I don't know if they did. I haven't seen a nicer Enzo Ferrari in this scale. This thing smokes the Super. It's so much nicer than the Super, yet so much less valuable. But you do have insert transparent lens headlights. The interior is really detailed in this. The wheels are really nice. And one of the awesome features of this car is the opening. I don't know if I'd call this a bonnet. I guess it probably is. But, man, just killer. So, yes, Ferrari can make a very nice detailed casting. Johnny Lightning. They also do a very nice job with premium detailed diecast. Check out this Chevy Silverado Z71. This is an older tooling from Johnny Lightning, yet it's as nice as it ever was. Not as nice as the Greenlight Silverado, but they are different body styles. But, I mean, look at that. That looks amazing. I think it looks real good. We're just going to leave it there. Here's kind of a... Well, I'll just let the car do the talking. I love this casting from Tomica. This is a premium. Tomica Premium, which is their middle line. And it is a 300ZX. Very, very accurate. It's a little bit big for scale. I think it's like a 1:62, maybe a 1:60. It says it on the base. I'll take a look at it when I pick it up, but just incredible detail on this car. Check out the back end. Transparent lens brake lights. You have all of the Nissan badges and tags on the back, the exhaust pipes, windshield wiper, T-tops. Same thing with the front, transparent lensed headlights. Just a sharp car. And it is 1:60 scale. So of the yellow JDM cars, which one are you going to roll around in? Personally, as much as I like the Acura, I've always had a thing for this generation Z. I think this is the nicest looking Z that ever came out. I know a lot of people would argue with me on that with some of the older nostalgic ones, but I think this one here looks a lot better than the ones we've seen since then. Just a very, very classic design to this car. And that is Tomica. You can't do a video like this without America's most detailed premium brand, Auto World. And they do it as good as anybody as far as domestic brands go. They probably do it better. I've said since I've started collecting all the import stuff, and I'll stand by it today, there's only one company, in my opinion, that makes a nicer 1:64 scale car, and that is Tomica Limited Vintage. Other than that, Auto World is a noticeable step ahead of Greenlight, Johnny Lightning, all these other brands. Just amazing. I just hope that they continue to expand their catalog, because that's their biggest weakness. These Trans Ams that they put out are just amazing. Look at those tires. BF Goodrich, Radial TA's Snowflake. Those are very difficult wheels to do. And I think the execution on them is very, 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 very well done. So, I don't know. I do like Auto World a lot. Another brand that a lot of my viewers like this brand, and I think some of them get upset when I speak negatively of this brand. But this is M2. Now, this, in my opinion, is one of their better castings, the Apache, especially with the utility box. But I'm going to stand by my opinion, and I'll double down on it. I think M2 is kind of weak. The detail's good. They're a little bit big for scale, but I could even get over that. That wouldn't stop me from collecting them. But it's just the execution and just, you know, them falling apart for no reason. They do a really nice job on a lot of castings, though. You know, they put a huge emphasis on opening doors, though, and I'm not a big fan of that. That really takes away from the authenticity of these cars in this small scale. And it's a hard thing to do and get right. Although other brands that cost a lot less than M2 seem to do it better. So I don't know. There's a lot of good with M2 and a lot of bad, but overall, I just choose not to buy a lot of M2. I just prefer the Greenlight and the Auto World and the Johnny Lightning. But you can rest assured when the Japan cars come out in August, I will, or September, whenever they're coming out, I will be purchasing those. This is an awesome truck. I won't even deny it. Awesome execution right here. Love that Apache. All right, I got a few more. Here's a pretty unknown brand. They don't do a whole bunch of stuff. They're actually known for 1/24 scale model kits, and they're not known here in the US at all. But it's a brand called Aoshima. This is a Toyota Carina Ht. So this is a true JDM car. You know, I think the term JDM gets thrown around too much. The meaning is supposed to be Japanese domestic market. So if it was available in the United States, does that make it a JDM? I don't know. I guess if it was also available in Japan, then it would be. But cars like the Datsun Bluebird, that was never commercially available in the US. So that would be a true JDM. I guess the Skylines would as well. So I don't know. To me, I like the term JNC a little bit better. I think it narrows it down a little bit better for me because it's the older stuff that I prefer. But man, this thing is awesome. A lot of really nice detail on these little Aoshimas. I think they're probably my least favorite brand of all of these import brands. But there are a few castings that they do great. And I love what they do with the cars, getting them slammed, getting them lowered. The stance, they get the stance right on these. So that's a really cool car there. Here's one from a real recent video. This is a Dyno Casting. Just a little Go Skyline. Pretty nice detail. I would consider this premium detail. You don't have insert lens headlights or taillights on this particular model, but they are all painted. On the 510, you know what? I have that right here. I'm going to show it again. I want to talk about this. I just did a video featuring these cars, so I don't want to spend a whole ton of time on it. But this car right here does feature, let me move this. This does feature insert headlights. They're not transparent lens, they're more prism. I would call these more of a jeweled headlight. It just came out today that Tomica Limited Vintage is going to bring this car out in November. This exact same car. So, as nice as the Dyno is, the TLV is going to be 100 times nicer, so you can take it to the bank. I'm going to get that car. I'm still going to hold on to this one, though, because this one's really hard to find. And the detail is just really, really nice. And I just noticed there are 2 spare tires in the back there. Freaking cool. And then look at this, number 25, East African Safari. They spaced the wording wrong, and I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or not. I love the Datsun badge above the license plate. It's going to be awesome to get that TLV and compare it with this one. I'm going to compare every little detail of the two cars. So that's Dyno. Dyno does, I don't even think they make cars anymore. Konami, I should have got a Konami out. I didn't even think about it. Konami doesn't make Diecast anymore, and I don't think Dyno does either. So now I'm getting down to my favorite brands. Here's one. This company doesn't do a lot of diecast, but when they do diecast, they do it really well. It's a coffee company, so diecast is just promotional for them. And I don't know if who they contracted out to, or if I'd imagine they contracted out. I'd imagine they don't do it themselves. But this Kenmary Skyline with this racing livery is one of my favorites. The Hot Wheels Kenmary came out, I think it was the second release of the Kenmary Hot Wheels car had a livery that was based on this. Kyosho has put this car out as well. The Kyosho is a very pricey one to come by. This one's not cheap if you can find it. I think there's one right now listed on eBay for about $23. But I love this car. One of my favorite Kenmarys in my collection, and I've got quite a few. A lot of really nice detail in this car. So that is UCC Coffee. All right. I think my overall favorite brand right here. Check out that thing. I love this release. This is a Barrett-Jackson auction block release from Greenlight. These were pretty limited. I think they only made 3,800 of these. The green machines are what are really hard to find. I had a chance to buy this green machine, and I should have done it when I didn't. And I regret it, because this is one of the very few sets where the green machines are gold dusted. But just amazing detail. I love the wheels on this. It is such a nicely done car. The hood has the pins on it. The engine isn't the most detailed. Well, the hood doesn't stay open, but it's not the most detailed engine anyways. But a very sharp car. All right, so that leaves us with 3 more. So in no particular order, I love my 4x4s, and premium 4x4s are tough to find. I probably would have used either a K5 Blazer or the Land Cruiser or the International Scout had I not packed up my Johnny Lightning collection. You just don't find a lot of premium 4x4s. So Kyosho has a few with the FJs and the Land Cruiser, the G-Wagon. Schuco, I think this might be the only one they have. But you have a full-size real rubber spare on the back. And a ton of awesome detail on this thing. It's metal on metal, so it's real heavy, but it has a very authentic look to it. I really dig this casting here. One of my favorites from Shuko. And two more. Every time I show this car, I get people asking me, is it available? Will you sell it? How much you want for it? And I don't want to sell it because it's so well done and it's like the scale is perfect. I like it. Actually, I like it a lot more than the TLV. This is one of the few Kyoshos that I like better than the TLV. This is the Kyosho Volkswagen Golf GTI. Every last detail down to the gas cap done correctly. Prototypical wheels that are extremely accurate. I mean, the car is just killer. It's so awesome looking. Check out the front end. So I understand why everybody's always asking me if this is available, but it's just one of those cars. I mean, it would really have to take something special for me to come off of this. And I kind of feel that way about this next car as well. This is a Tomica Limited Vintage. I don't know if it's my favorite TLV. I think it might be. This car right here. Hot Wheels has done it. Kyosho's done it. Matchbox has done it, but actually Matchbox has done it. May have been a long time ago, but pretty much every brand has done this car because in the automotive history, it's an iconic car. But it's a hard car to get right in this scale. And Tomica Limited Vintage has done it. And I think, in my opinion, this is maybe the nicest, most authentic, most realistic looking car in my entire collection. I mean, just look at that thing. Look at the wheels, the lines, the color. Wow. I mean, this car, I just don't think it gets any better. So there you go. So, what the heck? I'm gonna do one more. Can't do a video like this without Konami. All right, here's a Konami car. I don't know if it's my favorite Konami, but it's definitely one of my top 3. It's a car that Tomica Limited Vintage actually did. And the TLV is nicer, but I wouldn't say it's a whole bunch nicer. But here's a Konami 1982 Honda Prelude. And it's Another very accurate, very realistic looking, very well executed car. Where TLV I think is quite a bit better is right here in the back end. They just, everything with TLV with the brake lights is cleaner. All the trim pieces and everything, they just seem to be more crisp. But with that said, that is still very well executed. I mean, that's not an easy feat in this scale. So, but Konami cars are pretty tough to find. They only made cars, I think, for like 2 years or something like that. So they didn't do it very long. And I don't know. I don't have very many of these. I think I have like 30, 35. I don't know if I'll ever part with them, just because it's probably the most unique part of my collection. And the quality of these cars is really nice. So it's a unique collection to have, and it's a good quality. And you know, you just can't find them. I mean, you can go on eBay and find anything, but you know, people want $20-$30 a piece for these cars because they're all shipping from overseas. It's kind of the same thing with the Tomica limited vintage stuff. These are worth every penny, though. These cars are, to me, this is like art. This is artwork. I don't even know how I would describe it, but I don't know. Like, I have my Diecast collection, and then I have my TLV collection over here. So man, I don't know what that noise is, but so here are some of the import brands. You can never go wrong with Kyosho either. Kyosho makes some incredible stuff. I just made a trade with a guy. I don't know if he watches the channel or not, but I traded him a TLV car and a Kyosho car, and I don't think he has any. He has a Tomica, but I don't think he has a limited vintage, and I don't think he understands, like, you know, the limited vintage. People are like, oh, I have a Tomica, you know, they're okay. Well, if you don't have a limited vintage, then you, as far as I'm concerned, you don't have an understanding of the quality of their cars, because Tomica, a Tomica Limited or a Tomica Premium, they're not the same. So I think he's going to really be kind of surprised when he gets them to see how nice they actually are. Same thing with the Kyosho. I traded him one of the Bentleys. So Konami, Kyosho, Tomica Limited Vintage, UCC, Shuko, M2, Auto World. We do have a Hot Wheels car hiding over there. We have some Dyno Castings, Aoshima, Greenlight, Johnny Lightning. Over here we have Motormax, Revell, Racing Champs, Shelby Collectibles, Ertl. So much to choose from. What's crazy is you have all these brands, but the only ones you can find here in the States: Johnny Lightning, Greenlight, Auto World, Hot Wheels, Matchbox. That's it. All of the really cool stuff, none of it's available here. Racing Champs is too. And Racing Champs is getting better, so I have to admit, they are getting a lot better. Anyways, that's going to wrap up the video. Happy Friday, everybody. Almost the weekend. Happy hunting. Go find yourself some awesome diecast or go online and buy it that way. That's what I recommend. That's what I prefer. Because then you're not dealing with any headache. But it's easy for me to say when it's 112 degrees outside. All right, you all take care. I'll holler at the next video.